Long before the first sharp stone or carved handle, early humans moved through a world ruled by raw instinct. Their days were measured by hunger and fear, and every moment carried the weight of uncertainty. Predators lurked in shadows, rivers swelled with unseen danger, and winter winds cut deep into unprotected flesh. Food was scarce, and foraging often yielded little more than hunger's bitter reminder. Each step required careful judgment, each decision a delicate gamble with life itself. In this world, survival was a fragile dance of endurance, intuition, and luck, where the faintest advantage could mean the difference between life and death. In a quiet clearing, an early human crouched over a rough, unremarkable stone, examining it with a mix of curiosity and determination. With careful strikes and precise flicks, a sharp edge began to emerge, glinting in the sun like a small promise of power. For the first time, survival was no longer dictated solely by brute strength or luck. This tiny chip of rock became a bridge between instinct and ingenuity, offering a glimpse of what humans could achieve, all mingled with hope as they realized that the world could be shaped, molded, and tamed one deliberate action at a time, with a newly sharpened stone in hand. Early humans stepped into a world of possibilities and dangers. Hunting became a calculated challenge rather than a desperate gamble, each strike guided by skill and precision. They learned to butcher carcasses efficiently, fashion shelters from timber and hides, and defend themselves with an emerging sense of strategy. Yet mastery was not instant. Countless failures and injuries marked the path to competence. Knowledge had to be shared, techniques taught, refined, and passed down. In a landscape where every moment carried risk, these tools transformed survival into a deliberate, hard-won craft, turning instinct into innovation and fear into cautious confidence. Archaeological digs reveal fragments of stone tools, each one bearing silent testimony to human ingenuity. These chipped rocks were more than survival implements, they were the first sparks of innovation. Small yet powerful symbols of hope and mastery over nature. Every sharp edge tells a story of problem-solving, careful planning, and the courage to shape the world rather than be shaped by it. With these simple tools, humans began to imagine, create, and collaborate, laying the groundwork for communities, shelters, and the very essence of civilization. They hinted a future where axes, knives, and scrapers would redefine survival and human destiny. At the edge of a dense, shadowed forest, an early human pauses, gripping a newly shaped stone axe. The air is thick with the scent of earth and the distant hum of unseen predators. Every heartbeat echoes the weight of anticipation and fear, for in this small tool lies survival itself. Flint, chert, basalt stones chosen with care, each strike calculated to produce a sharp, reliable edge. This moment marks more than craftsmanship. It is the first time humans hold tangible power over their world, a fragile bridge between vulnerability and mastery, where life and death rest in the swing of a hand-forged rock. Beneath the dappled sunlight of the forest, early humans crouched over rough stones, striking carefully to flake away fragments and reveal a razor-sharp edge. Hours passed in focused repetition, each tap a delicate negotiation between force and control. Knowing one misstep could shatter the stone or cut a hand. When the blade finally gleamed, it was bound to a wooden handle with sinew or plant fibers, transforming a simple rock into an instrument of survival. Balance, leverage, and precision became lessons etched in muscle memory. Courage alone could not ensure life. It was patience, skill, and ingenuity that forged the tools capable of shaping destiny. What was once a mere rock became a weapon, a builder, and a lifeline. Early humans swung their newly sharpened axes, splitting timber to erect shelters and crafting tools with a speed that had been impossible before. In the dense forest, a well-aimed strike could fell trees, carve pathways, or expose hidden game, turning hunting into a calculated strategy rather than chance. Even predators, once towering threats, now met resistance in the hands of those who had mastered the axe. This transformation marked a turning point. Survival accelerated, adaptation became tangible, and humans discovered that shaping their environment was no longer a dream but a hard-won reality. Winter's chill presses against the forest, and shadows hide predators waiting for an opportunity. The community moves with urgency, each member wielding a stone axe to chop firewood, construct shelters, and carve pathways through dense undergrowth. One slip, one misjudged strike, could mean frostbite, starvation, or worse. Yet in the hands of the skilled, the axe becomes an extension of intent-cutting timber, felling game, and defending the vulnerable. Eyes meet in silent coordination, knowledge shared through gestures and practiced rhythm. In this tense dance of survival, the axe is no longer just stone and wood. It is life itself, a tangible shield against the dangers of a ruthless world. The stone axe endures not merely as a relic, but as a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. In its weight and balance lies the story of survival, adaptation, and foresight. Holding it was more than wielding a tool, it was grasping control over the world itself. A declaration that humans could shape their environment and secure their future. This first innovation laid the foundation for increasingly complex technologies, influencing communities, strategies, and culture. The axe's legacy endures, a symbol of humanity's earliest triumphs over nature, and a prelude to the knives, scrapers, and tools that would continue to define the story of survival. The hunter moves silently through the dense forest, the weight of their catch pressing against their shoulders. Every rustle of leaves carries the threat of predators, every step a test of endurance. In their hand, a stone knife gleams with a sharp promise, ready to turn raw meat into sustenance, hides into clothing, and bones into tools. Each precise cut matters. Each moment could determine the survival of the family waiting at the hearth. This knife is more than stone, it is a lifeline, a bridge between hunger and nourishment, danger and safety, shaping the fate of those who depend on its edge. From jagged stone flakes to meticulously sharpened blades, the stone knife underwent a quiet revolution. Early humans learned to strike and shape rocks with careful precision, discovering angles and pressure that could create a reliably sharp edge. Each adjustment reflected an intuitive grasp of balance, geometry, and human anatomy, transforming a simple shard into a tool of remarkable versatility. This evolution was neither sudden nor easy. Countless experiments and errors paved the way for mastery. With every refinement, the knife became more than rock. It became a lifeline, capable of crafting, preparing food, and even defending against the dangers that lurked in an unforgiving world. The stone knife glides through raw meat with precision, carves timber into useful shapes, and slices hides until they are supple enough for clothing or shelter. In moments of danger, it becomes a defensive edge, turning survival instinct into action. Each use reflects careful observation of the human hand, the body of prey, and the material at hand, demonstrating an early understanding of design and purpose. This simple tool adapts to every challenge, a trusted companion in a world of uncertainty. The knife is no longer just stone, it is an extension of thought and skill, bridging necessity and ingenuity, life and survival. A sudden storm lashes the forest, chilling the group to the bone, while hunger gnaws at their strength. The stone knife becomes their lifeline, slicing meat with speed, shaping branches into a makeshift shelter, and cutting hides to protect against the bitter wind. A predator prowls nearby, but the knife in skilled hands offers defense and reassurance. Each swift motion carries the weight of survival, every decision hinging on precision and speed. Archaeological evidence shows these tools extended journeys, improved diets, and fortified communities. In moments like this, the knife transcends its form, proving that adaptability and sharpness are the difference between life and death. The stone knife, small yet precise, stands as a quiet hero of human ingenuity. In its sharp edge lies the story of survival, creativity, and problem-solving, a tool that turned raw stone into sustenance, protection, and progress. By enabling humans to manipulate their surroundings, craft clothing, and process food efficiently, it laid the foundation for future technologies and complex societies. Its impact was both practical and emotional, empowering communities to endure and thrive. As we turn to the next chapter of Survival the Scrapers, we see the continuity of human adaptation, where every innovation, no matter how modest, shapes the path of civilization. A hand moves over a rough animal hide, feeling its coarse surface yield beneath careful strokes, transforming into supple material ready for clothing or shelter. In these moments, the humble scraper proves its worth. Small, simple, yet indispensable, it turns raw, stubborn materials into tools of survival. Each scrape reflects patience, skill, and the quiet ingenuity of early humans, who learned that survival was shaped not only by strength but by precision. These modest tools bridged the gap between discomfort and protection, exposing a truth that would guide humanity. Even the smallest innovation could secure warmth, safety, and life itself. Hands worked tirelessly over raw hides, scraping, shaping, and refining them into clothing, shelter, and essential tools. Each motion is deliberate, honed through patience and repetition. As early humans discover how different scraper shapes suit specific tasks. Some edges slice finely, perfect for delicate work. Others endure heavier pressure for tougher hides. Mistakes could ruin a vital resource, making every careful strike a matter of survival. This labor transforms raw material into life-sustaining utility, blending skill, observation, and endurance. Through this repetitive effort, knowledge is shared and refined, proving that even the smallest, Most precise actions could secure warmth, safety, and the very continuation of the group dot as winter winds howl across open plains and dense forests. Scrapers emerge as silent heroes of survival. Early humans turned coarse hides into warm clothing, blankets, and protective gear, each stroke of the scraper carefully crafting comfort from raw material. These tools allow communities to endure frigid nights, migrate into new territories, and face predators with confidence. Innovation thrives. Specialized scraper shapes tackle different textures, while leftover scraps become valuable trade. In these moments, the scraper transcends its modest form, becoming a symbol of adaptation and foresight, a testament to human resilience, and a critical instrument in turning the uncertainty of survival into a controlled, manageable endeavor. Bitter winds sweep across the settlement, carrying the sharp sting of winter as a small family huddles together, relying on hides painstakingly scraped and prepared for warmth. Every movement counts. One careless cut could ruin a cloak. One imperfect scrape could compromise a shelter. Parents teach their children the precise motions, passing down skills honed through necessity. The scraper's edge becomes more than stone. It is a lifeline, a quiet protector against frost and hunger. In this harsh landscape, survival hinges on patience, knowledge, and teamwork, proving that even the simplest tools can shape the resilience, safety, and continuity of human life. In the quiet moments of daily life, scrapers worked tirelessly, shaping hides into clothing, crafting shelters, and producing materials that could be traded or shared. These modest tools, often overlooked, quietly laid the foundation for community, survival, and human ingenuity. Each edge honed by patient hands tells a story of adaptation, skill, and foresight, revealing that progress is not always loud or dramatic. Scrapers symbolize the unseen labor behind human advancement, proving that even the simplest implements can have profound impact. As unsung heroes of survival, they paved the way for more complex technologies, leaving a legacy etched in stone and human resilience. Beneath layers of soil, time has kept its secrets, and a careful hand brushes away centuries to reveal a 10,000-year-old axe, knife, and scraper. Each artifact gleams faintly, whispering stories of hands that shaped them, of lives that depended on them. Holding these tools, the archaeologist feels the weight of survival etched into stone. The ingenuity of humans confronting hunger, danger, and the harsh unknown. They are more than relics. They are proof of creativity, foresight, and resilience. In this moment, past and present collide, showing that the story of technology and human mastery begins not in invention, but in survival itself, long before metal gleamed in human hands. The first tools carved a path for ingenuity, shaping stone, refining edges, and balancing design. Taught early humans the principles that would echo through millennia of invention. Each strike, each careful flake, was a lesson in experimentation, problem-solving, and environmental mastery. Generation after generation, knowledge accumulated, transforming simple implements into ever more efficient instruments. These tools were not merely for survival, they were the spark of progress, the first expressions of planning and foresight. In their quiet utility, They laid the foundations for societies that would one day harness fire, forge metal, and build civilizations. The act of shaping stone was never solitary, it was a lesson shared, a skill passed hand to hand. Early humans learned to observe, imitate, and teach, turning survival into a collective endeavor. Each strike of flint, each carefully honed edge, required planning, patience, and foresight. Communities collaborated on hunts, on crafting tools, and on constructing shelters. Their cooperation made possible by the shared language of ingenuity. Problem-solving became a cultural thread, creativity a prized skill. In mastering tools together, humans forged bonds and social structures, transforming mere survival into organized, adaptive communities. Innovation became the heartbeat of human identity. With sharper edges and refined designs, stone tools became the engines of transformation. No longer merely instruments of survival, they enabled early humans to process food efficiently, build sturdier shelters, and manage resources with precision. Villages took root, fields were cultivated, and trade networks began to emerge. Each advancement rooted in the mastery of tools. Communities specialized, knowledge spread, and populations flourished, turning fleeting survival into lasting stability. These simple implements bridged necessity and possibility, shaping human ambition. In their hands, stone was more than rock, it was a catalyst, the quiet architect of the first civilizations, charting a course toward a structured, enduring society. Though crude in form, stone tools remain among the most powerful symbols of humanity's rise. Each chipped edge carries the story of the first sparks of foresight the moment survival became. Strategy and instinct evolved into invention. They stand as proof that our species did more than endure. We learned to adapt, to improve, to imagine a future beyond hunger and fear. From the strike of flint to the hum of modern machines, the thread of innovation has never been broken. Survival was never only instinct, it was vision etched in stone, the enduring blueprint of human progress.